This video is going to address a common formatting challenge and also solicit some help from the community in terms of potentially a better way to deal with this formatting challenge. I'm just going to go ahead and generate 100 random numbers, and we're going to call them student IDs for the purpose of this demonstration. So as you see here, this is a view many of you may be familiar with. You have student IDs, but the leading zeros have been stripped out. So if this was on a student ID card, it should say 0069024, but instead it just has the raw number. This often happens because when you open a file in Excel, it looks at the column and assumes that they're numbers, and so it actually removes the leading zeros, leaving you with just the raw numbers. So this doesn't look quite right. So a quick way to deal with the formatting issue is to highlight the column, right-click to bring up the menu, select the Format Cells option. Then we'll want to select a custom category, and this allows you to type in the way you want those numbers to format. So you just type 7 zeros and then click OK. So you can see now the column is formatted correctly, which looks much nicer for presenting the data to somebody else. However, if you need to actually have the zero in the Excel spreadsheet, you can see that that's not the case here. Even though it formats to show those zeros, the raw data is just this number. So to get around that, you'll need to transform this column to a text column and copy the values, including those zeros, back in. The quickest way I found to do that is to go ahead and open up Notepad, copy the entire column. So I just did Control-C, Control-V to paste the column in. Then go back to the column, again right-click, select the Format Cells option, and change the category to text, then click OK. Now that this column has been formatted as text, you can go back to your Notepad. I'm going to do Control-A to select all, Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. You can also use the menu options to paste, but I like keyboard shortcuts. Anyway, we're now left with the student IDs. The leading zeros are there, and the actual character zeros are part of this information now. This kind of transformation is helpful and necessary when doing imports or maybe doing a lookup from one spreadsheet to another spreadsheet. So again, this is the quickest way I found to do this. I would be very interested to hear if anybody has found a setting in Excel to turn off the feature where it automatically recognizes a column as numbers and therefore strips out those zeros. I'd also be interested in other techniques that you've used to reformat the entire column of numbers, one that may be faster than the one that I showed. One of the nice things with this technique is that it takes the same amount of time no matter how many student IDs you have and no matter how strange they are. Sometimes we have student IDs that only have 3 characters, sometimes they have 6. This technique will format all of those correctly in a fairly quick fashion, but I assume there may be better ways to do that. I'm interested in that, and if any of you use even a third-party plugin or utility for Excel that allows you to set up some macros to do this type of work, I'd be interested in seeing that shared as well. Appreciate your guys' time and hope this is helpful.